Darren Wilson, the officer who shot and killed Michael Brown. A preliminary autopsy requested by the family found that Brown was shot at least 6 times, including twice in the head. Another development for you, a Facebook page called I Support Officer Wilson. It has already received now more than 33,000 likes. A GoFundMe page has raised more than $20,000 to help with his finances and legal fees. Now, we haven't heard his side of the story yet. However, a person who says her name is Josie claims to know his version of events. She was on a radio show, Radio America, the Dana Show yesterday, and said that Brown rushed the officer before the shooting. A source close to the investigation says her story is similar to what the officers told investigators. Take a listen.
Michael takes off with his friend. They get to be about 35 feet away, and Darren's first protocol is to pursue. So he stands up and yells, "Freeze!" Michael and his friend turn around, and Michael starts taunting him. "Oh, what are you gonna do about it? You're not going to shoot me." And then he said all of a sudden he just started to bum rush him. He just started coming at him full speed. And so he just started shooting, and he just kept coming. So he really thinks he was on something because he just kept coming. It was unbelievable. And then so he finally ended up, the final shot was in the forehead.
Now, that doesn't square with what some witnesses have said. You might recall I spoke to Piaget Crenshaw. She says she saw Brown running away from the officer. In fact, she repeated that last night to our Anderson Cooper.
So you believe you're convinced you saw the officer shooting Michael Brown when Michael Brown was facing away from the officer?
Yes, sir. And then that is when he turned around with his arms up and got shot down multiple more times.
You say his arms were up. There's an account from this woman who called into the radio show who claims that the officer is saying Michael Brown was rushing the police officer. Is that what you saw?
No, in no time did I see him move towards that police officer. He may have taken 1 centimeter of a step forward before he was gunned down.
That young woman, Piaget Crenshaw, is the woman who took the disturbing video that shows Brown's body lying there in the street. I want to turn to my colleague Don Lemon, who has been on the ground in Ferguson for some time now. My goodness, Don, there's so much to discuss with you. The tension overnight, the sun comes up, more rallies, more protests. I do want you to set the scene, but I wouldn't mind if you could sort of recap for us what went on last night and what you found yourself in the center of.
It's crazy. And listen, you've been on your show for 5 minutes now, and that entire 5 minutes that you've been on the show, you have been giving update after update after update. It took you 5 minutes to get to me. That just shows you how many developments there are in this story and how the details are coming in. Before I tell you my experience, I do have to say, we have the witnesses coming on, going back and forth. We have the alleged friend of the officer. And by the way, that radio show, she did that interview over the weekend. I think it was on Friday or Saturday that she did that. And she said it happened, that conversation she had with the officer was immediately after the incident happened, before the big uproar. And also there are, we have to just be transparent here, there are unconfirmed reports, and we're hearing from sources, but there are other witnesses on the scene who don't want to be part of the media spotlight, who are corroborating the officer's version of the story. So I think we should all be patient, quite honestly, until more investigating is done, and until we get more details about exactly what happened. But last night, to answer your question directly now, I can't really explain to you what we witnessed. It started off really as a peaceful protest. A couple of people in the crowd, doing some things that they shouldn't be doing. Community leaders and police officers saying it was a small number and it was being done by outside agitators. About 10:30 Eastern time, that's when all hell really started to break loose. People started to throw bottles. The presence of police started to roll in. Tactical gear. Police officers with guns. They were in armored vehicles. They were on megaphones. They had the LRADs telling LRADs